Well, stay in the holiday spirit by visiting Princeton's Adsmore House and Gardens Museum. The treasured period trimmings are only for a limited time each and every year. This year is set up for baby Catherine's very first Christmas in 1901. It's almost over. The special seasonal decor will only be on display one last day, and that is going to be tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Don't miss it.
The Christ Tabernacle Food Pantry in Princeton is asking that you and your family join them for their holiday food pantry. Joining in is really simple. Now, you can pick up your item list at our WPKY studios, the Christ Tabernacle Church on Highway 62 West, or on their church page and website. It's a different item every single day through the month of December. Complete your family's donation through the month and finish the challenge on January 3rd and 6th from 3 to 6 p.m. by dropping it off at the church.
The Caldwell County Middle School Beta Club is selling Caldwell County Tiger Nation's license plates for $15 to raise money to help students go to the State Junior Beta Convention and other activities for the Beta Club. Contact Chelsea at the middle school or any CCMS Junior Beta Club member.
Well, the First Baptist Church Clothing Room will be back up in January, and it's going to be open the fourth Tuesday of every month from 8:30 until 10:30 for the year 2020. Now, the next open day will be January 27th. Be a large selection of clothing for men, women, and children. Please use the Cave Street entrance door. First Baptist Church is located at 300 West Main Street in Princeton.
The Caldwell County High School Band of Pride is selling the Caldwell County Tiger large stainless steel travel mugs and vinyl Caldwell County Tiger decals to benefit the purchase of new instruments for the Caldwell County High School Band. See any band member or contact the high school for more information. Several businesses in Princeton will carry them as well.
Well, the Fredonia First Baptist Church on Cassidy Avenue in Fredonia is inviting the public to a free meal for all. Now, that's on Tuesday, December 31st from 6 to 7:30 p.m. at the First Baptist Church Life Center in Fredonia. And they're going to have a huge New Year's Eve celebration. Everybody is welcome, and the meal is free. For more info, call Pastor Lamb at 270-331-5025.
Well, get your groove on and dance into the new year and get into shape at the same time. Dance Fitness will be Monday, January 6th and 13th, 5 p.m. at Lyon County Elementary School Gym. Cost is $7 per person. Ashley White from the Caldwell County Extension Office will be the dance instructor. A portion of proceeds go towards the Imagination Library, which sends free books to Lyon County children ages 0 through 5 years of age. For more information, call 270-388-9715, extension 407. And Tess, we want to remind everybody about the trash pickup. WCA running a day delayed as well.
That's right. If your trash day was on maybe Thursday, of course it would be today.
That's right.
If it's on Monday, then it'd be picked up on Tuesday. Now, they're not going to run on New Year's Day, so it'll be the same way next week.
That's exactly right. They were closed Christmas Day, causing the one-day delay. So same thing next week, so keep that in mind. And good reminder here from Tess and Ty.
Hey, if you've got a community event or a function coming up, make sure you let us know about it. It's WPKYonline@gmail.com.
wpkyonline@gmail.com. We're proud to call Caldwell County home. WPKY.
1580 103.3 WPKY. It is 8:08 with Tess and Ty, and we got some visitors in the house. I love it when we got company coming over.
Boy, we've got Friday company and
I do.
visitors here.
I don't think there's a bad day to have company, but Friday's even better.
We love a good casual conversation with the radio mics on and across the table. We are pleased to welcome Pastor Troy Gent of Christ Tabernacle Church, and we have Steve Boren here as a member, but he also they have a great program out there called Freedom 418. Steve was here a couple months back, I do believe, sir. Good morning to both of you all.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Glad to have you here, and of course, Christ Tabernacle Church, a growing community and church, non-denominational, out on US 62
Right.
West. And Pastor Troy, just tell us about how God's blessed you out there.
Well, it's been a great thing that's happening. God's doing some great things. The church is really 17 years old. Started when my dad planted a church downtown. Started with 12 people,
Yep.
and about 10 years ago, I became the pastor there, and we've seen God do some neat things over the last 10 years. So.
I'm going to tell you, a lot of people say, well, we've only got a couple of people, but that's all that it takes, right? I mean, as
Right.
long as you get a start, that's all you need.
Exactly. Yeah.
I
Look
think
at
there's
where
something
you're at
about wherever
now.
2 or 3 are gathered, right?
Right. Yeah,
I
that's
think
exactly
how
right.
it works.
Yeah.
And you guys started, I do believe, from what I remember, it was down at the old Presbyterian Church
It
there on
was,
Market Street.
Cumberland.
Yeah, that's right.
Presbyterian Church.
Your dad started
and,
that?
He did, yeah. Had wooden pews and old building.
That was a
but,
neat old
it was
building,
neat.
wasn't it?
It was
Yeah.
really neat. And but then 9 years ago, we actually moved what used to be the Eagles Club. So if you're from Princeton, you remember that.
Oh, yeah.
And so we went in and remodeled that, and it's beautiful. Turned out to be a beautiful facility.
Well, I will say, I mean, there's a lot of times you guys have events throughout the year that, you invite other churches as well. And
Right.
my kids have come out there to a couple of
Right.
events and really
Right.
enjoyed themselves.
Yeah, of course, Brandon Sigler is our youth pastor, and about once a quarter we have a big youth night, and I know that several churches of the local churches and area churches will come to that, and then we'll put on an Easter drama, things like that as well. And then, of course, the food pantry. We do that it's a weekly event, the food pantry, every Monday and Friday, but then once a month we have our big food distribution in our Life Center. And honestly, if it wasn't for the support of the community and the other churches, we have members from other churches that will come and help with the food pantry.
Right.
And so couldn't do it without the help of other churches.
Well, now, speaking of that, you guys did something pretty cool during the month of December. And I realize that that's almost over with, but it's something that I thought was pretty neat and a great idea. Can you explain that? It's the Food Pantry Challenge.
Yeah, honestly, Missy Gill put that on, and I know you've been announcing it. I don't know a whole lot about it, to be honest with you. So you put me on the spot.
I've got the card here, and it's pretty
Yeah.
cool because basically every day of the month of December there is an item that the pantry that they're collecting, and so at the end of the month, I think probably some people have been taking their items each and every day, but they want you to collect a certain item daily, and then at the first of the year, I think on January 3rd, January 6th, you can take all your items out there, and they will have them stock in the pantry, and it's been a really neat thing to see. I've got my card in there, and I told my wife Molly, I was like, we got to catch up here because, but we've got canned goods that we can
is
donate,
awesome.
and there's dry, they have macaroni and cheese and different items each day, and so
Yeah.
what a way to really stock the
That's
pantry
awesome.
out at
Well,
Christ Tabernacle
Thanks
Church.
for bailing me out
Well,
there.
well, Missy
I
does a
don't
great
know.
job.
Don't get me wrong. I don't have any little bitty kids anymore. I say mine are ornery teenagers. I don't have the cute ones anymore. They're all grown up. But I've got a couple of friends that have little ones, and what they've done with this food drive is they actually had the kid go to the pantry, and try to, it's almost like a little scavenger hunt, and that's kind of how it's set up, really. But they'll go to the pantry, and they find the one thing that's for that day, and they put it in the box. And so then it's kind of been a great learning tool for little ones, too.
That's awesome.
Or you can go to the grocery store and just get the cart and go, I need this, and this,
Yeah,
and this,
yeah.
and
Come on,
make
that's
it
great.
fun. But tremendous community outreach with Christ Tabernacle. not only with youth, not only with adults, not only with you've got a tremendous praise band out there. The music's incredible, and we'll get to that. But Mr. Steve Boren is here, and there is a really, really great program that he leads out there called Freedom 418. And Steve, bring you into the conversation here. Tell us about what's going on with Freedom 418.
Well, I tell you what, we're getting excited because we've been planning and training and praying, most importantly, about this program since, I guess, the beginning of last summer. And we wanted to lay the foundation, get firmly set on Jesus Christ, and now we're ready to launch at January 2nd. We'll be having our first meeting at 6 o'clock. That's a Thursday night. And then we've got an awesome speaker planned, Chris Childers out of Hopkinsville. And he's going to be there. Got an awesome testimony. I'd encourage everyone to come out and hear it. It's life-changing.
For those who don't know, what got this whole thing started? Back in day one, before it was ever, somebody ever said, well, let's see what we can do. What even brought the idea up?
Well, the Pastor Troy had several people come up right about the same time, and just God put it on a lot of our congregants' heart to do this sort of thing. A lot of people had family members that were suffering, and they just approached Pastor Troy. And I've always had a heart for discipleship. That's the reason I'm at Christ Tabernacle, quite frankly, is because of their heart. And so I went to him as well, and Pastor Troy was just like, let's do it, and asked me if I would lead it, and I considered it an honor, and we just started putting it together, and it just went on from there. And God sent us the people and the resources and everything we need to get going, and I feel like His hand is on it. I feel like there's going to be some lives changed, but most of all, I believe God's involved, and that's why I know it's going to be successful.
Well, what makes it personal for you?
Well, I've done jail ministry for the last 10, 12 years, and I talk to a lot of people that their lives have been ruined because of drugs.
Well, now, when you say jail ministry, explain what a jail ministry is.
Well, I meet sometimes one-on-one with inmates in Christian County Jail, and then sometimes I hold services on Tuesday nights for them as well. And they're young men many times that have gotten involved in drugs. It seems like every crime, there'd be almost no crime if there weren't drugs and alcohol. I can tell you that right now. But I'm ministering to them at a time in their life where they've already paying dearly for maybe mistakes that they make, and my heart is to intervene before they make those mistakes, and get in front of this thing, and so many times I think we try to react rather than be proactive, and so we're wanting to be proactive. We're wanting to bring people the truth and let them know that it doesn't have to be that way. There is an option, and there's another way that you can live your life that's going to bring peace and joy and happiness. And so often I think church has, and I'm talking about church at large, has told people if you come to Christ and you make this declaration, then you're going to have love and joy and peace and kindness and goodness and all these things in your life. And then people come and they try it and it doesn't happen, and they're like, well, it's not true. Well, that wasn't the promise. The promise is salvation. You get to spend an eternity with God. But what the Scripture's full of promises where it says, if you will do this, then I will do that. And He clearly tells us in Galatians 5 that if we will walk in the Spirit, we will not fulfill the lusts of the flesh. And then it goes on to name the fruits that you'll produce if you're following Christ. And that's the love, the joy, the peace, the kindness, and goodness. So it's not just a matter of saying, yeah, now I'm a Christian, so life's great. It's a matter of, it's a lifestyle. It's about following Christ, and that's what we're going to do at Freedom 418 is come alongside people and try to mentor them and disciple them and teach them how to do that.
Pastor Troy, what does it mean to you to have people like this in your congregation? I mean, that's pretty special.
Yeah,
right?
it's awesome. Yeah, and it's just like this reminds me so much of how the food pantry got started, and because there's a lot of things that are great ideas and things that we know are the heart of God. We know that it's God's heart to minister to the poor, to minister to those who are hurting and broken. We know that the Lord wants freedom for those who are bound. That was how Jesus started his ministry. He said, I not only want to preach the gospel to the poor, but I want to set at liberty those who are captives and to set the oppressed free. And so we know that's the heart of God. The thing is, someone once told me that the will of God is when you get the plan of God, the heart of God, when that intersects with the timing of God. And so a lot of times we see things, we think that's a great idea, and it is a great idea. And it's God's idea, but it's not always God's timing.
Right.
And so, when you're going to undertake something like the food pantry or Freedom 418, it takes a lot of people to make that happen. And so it's not something you want to just start because it's a good idea, and then 6 months into it, everybody's wore out because you only have 2 or 3 people doing all the work. And so it really, like Steve said, when it started was when several people started coming and feeling like with a burden. When God puts a burden on somebody's heart. And so, it's not something I could do. In fact, I will be involved, but it has to be a ministry that works without me. And so, so many of the ministries at Christ Tabernacle are because of the Steve Borens and the Missy Gills and the Brandon Siglers and the Bryce Davises and all these people that God's raising up, Coley Sutton, and I could go on and on.
Call
and
him
on.
out, preacher. Right?
Yeah.
Well, when you talk about like Brandon, he coaches football at middle school.
Sure.
And my goodness, there's a whole bunch of boys sitting right there every day just looking to him,
Right.
And he makes a fantastic role model for these kids.
Yeah.
In a positive way. And is that one of those things that, do you need more volunteers to step up like they have? I mean, is that
Always,
something
yeah.
that
Yeah.
you guys are looking for? Is there other areas in the church where you're needing people?
Of course, yeah. We always, a growing church always needs more people to work and to help. And we have great vision. We don't lack vision and things that we'd like to do. But as Jesus said, the harvest is ripe, but the laborers are few. At the same time, I would say Christ Tabernacle is amazing for workers. I mean, it's just the best workers that I know of. But we're always, when we start an event like this, it is not just a Christ Tabernacle thing. We welcome people from other churches. I know, at one time, Celebrate Recovery was really big in our community. And I know there were some amazing leaders that were a part of that ministry. And I don't know, personally, that, not to say that it's not happening, but I don't know of anywhere else that's going on right now. And I know those people are out there. And so we're not trying to get them to say, hey, leave your church and come to Christ Tabernacle. But if they are interested in a ministry on Thursday nights to minister to people who are battling drug addiction or just any kind of life-controlling issue, then they're more than welcome to come, and we'll put them to work and based on their gifting, what they're gifted at. So.
Well, and I know a lot of times, it's hard to get people to step up and say, I'll do it. I'll do
Absolutely,
it. They
yeah.
want to. They secretly want to, but it's like they just won't. They wait to be asked
Right.
instead of, popping up and saying, oh, me.
Right.
Steve, let's get into the nuts and bolts of the ministry here. Tell us how it will work. and
Before
who
we
you're
do,
ministering
I'm going to,
to.
because
Oh, you
he's
take a
got to
break?
run. I'm
Okay.
going to take a break
Okay.
because I know Pastor needs to leave a little bit earlier.
Okay.
So I did want to make sure that we tell you thank you for coming in this morning.
Awesome.
We sure do appreciate
Thanks for having us. Awesome.
everything that you guys
Yeah.
are doing out there at the church. And make sure you let us know about your website and all of that good stuff. How do they get a hold of you and your church times?
Sure. You want me to do that now or after the break?
Now.
Okay. Well, we have service every Sunday morning at 9 and 11, two identical services at 9 and 11. And then we have, and it's more contemporary, I guess, as far as the music that you hear is something similar that you would hear on Is it okay to say K-Love? Is that, I know that's the competition. But,
Well, you already did, so I don't know.
It's okay.
It's okay.
just so that, no, I know nobody's ever listened to that because they're always listening to WPKY.
That's right.
But anyway, more probably praise and worship is our style of music. Can you rewind that and just delete that from the tape? We're live, aren't we?
We're just happy to have
That
you.
reminds me of my messages on Sunday morning. I usually mess up, and then it's out there.
No, it's fine. So what's your phone number? Give us your phone number.
270-365-1744. And then you can go ChristTabernacleKY.org, and then, of course, Facebook and our
And you have somebody that works on your website, too.
Yes. We have a great team, and it's not just one person. We got a great team of people that head up our Facebook. James Tudor keeps it updated all the time. Eric Schroeder doing our website. So just great people.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Stick around. We're going to come back and start talking more about this program and really get into some of the nuts and bolts of it and all that good stuff, okay?
Yeah.
Stick around. Coffee Talk 1580 103.3 WPKY.
I really thought I would die of stress long before the cancer, because the diagnosis brought this avalanche of worries. The money, the travel, the burden on the family. One night I called the American Cancer Society, and they helped me map out a plan. Got me free rides to chemo and even a free place to stay during treatment. They took away those other fears so I could rest up for the real fight.
Please give at cancer.org.
This holiday season, Dodge's gift to you is Employee Pricing Plus. That means everyone gets the same price our employees get on the Dodge Durango. And with Durango's available 475 horsepower, Dodge is here to make every trip a memorable one. So hurry in to the Dodge Big Finish event today to take advantage of Employee Pricing Plus. Offers available in the purchase or lease of a 2020 Dodge Durango or a new 2019 Dodge vehicle, excluding Charger and Challenger. Customer responsible for $200 administration fee. Must take retail delivery by 1/2/20. See dealer for details.
There's an advantage in being the home team. You know who Emma Talley, Jake Lewis, and Pat Gates are. You've seen the wall around Butler Stadium and have heard of the Caldwell Crazies. Trice Hughes, we're your home team. Here's our home team deal of the week.
The 2018 Nissan Sentra SL, 16,000 miles. NADA retail 18,100. Trice price $15,990.
Get this home team deal of the week at Trice Hughes. Find us on Highway 91 North, Princeton, or TriceHughes.com.
Need cash fast? Get the money you need. Call ABC Finance now.
The hustle and bustle of the holiday season is stressful enough without adding financial worry to the list.
At ABC Finance, we offer a deferred payment program on holiday loans.
Hi, this is Jody Lamb at the Princeton ABC Finance location.
And this is Todd Morris at the Hopkinsville location.
Make this season the best ever with the help of ABC Finance.
At ABC Finance, we provide loans up to $15,000.
Our commitment is to make the loan process easy and stress-free.
The decisions are made quickly, usually within an hour.
We can even consolidate all loans into one easy payment.
No appointment is needed. Walk-ins are welcome.
Give us a call and we will take your application over the phone.
Or you can apply online at abcfinanceonline.com.
And like us on Facebook.
ABC Finance in Hopkinsville on Fort Campbell Boulevard next to O'Charlie's and in Princeton Plaza. ABC Finance. All loans subject to normal credit approval.
Hey guys, it's Molly with the Tin Roof. Did you know we now have 2 locations? That's right, you can now shop your favorite gift shop, not only in Princeton, but now in Cadiz too. Both stores are crammed full of home decor, apparel and accessories, gifts for all ages and occasions, and of course, all the fun. Free gift wrapping on every single purchase every day. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for all the deets from your very favorite store, Tin Roof, where fun and style meet.
Do the winter blues have you down? You are not alone. Seasonal depression affects many people. If you are experiencing periods of low energy, social withdrawal, hypersomnia, or other symptoms of depression, seek help from one of our licensed professionals with Health First Community Health Center. Visit their website, healthfirstchc.net, or contact their office at 270-365-9455 for more information. Health First Community Health Center is located at 1100 South Jefferson Street in Princeton. At Health First, your health is our first concern.
We've all heard the phrase, service above self, or servant's heart. There are some that actually live by this.
We call these folks Hometown Heroes. Nominate your Hometown Hero by going to WPKYOnline.com and clicking on Hometown Hero. They just may be recognized as the Hometown Hero of the Month.
Did you get some Christmas cash, or you just need to save some cash after Christmas? Either way, you can save big and make your money go further with our After Christmas sale going on now. Save an additional 20% off your total order in our Big Deal store. No code needed. Visit WPKYOnline.com now and visit our Big Deal store to make your money go farther when you save big on great deals today. 1580 103.3 WPKY 828 with Tess and Ty. And who we got in the house, Ty?
Well, we have Pastor Troy Gent from Christ Tabernacle Church. It's located out on US 62 West here in Princeton. And we have Steve Boren, Brother Steve Boren from out there. And boy, oh boy, we are talking about Freedom 418. New ministry that's going to be launched at Christ Tabernacle, led by Steve here. And we were going to get into the nuts and bolts of how this ministry is going to work and who we're ministering to, Steve. So with that, let's talk about this incredible ministry that you guys are launching.
Great. Well, our church's mission kind of reflects what Freedom 418's mission is. Our church's mission is to help people know God and to help them find freedom, which that's where we hope to come in, and discover their purpose and then make a difference and see them following Christ. And so Freedom 418 is our beliefs and goals are we hear a lot about programs, and we see a lot of programs that spring up and then go away, and I know things are for a season and a reason, but I remember when Pastor Troy and I were discussing this, I made a statement to him. I said, I'm sick to death of programs that don't work. Mm-hmm. And so I refrain from calling Freedom 418 a program. I call it a ministry because programs, they don't heal people. We're looking to see people walking in freedom and being healed from the things that are controlling their lives, whether it be addiction to alcohol or pornography or drugs or whether it be depression or so many things that are going on in this world. There's so many problems, but the answer is always the same, and that's a relationship with Jesus Christ. And so we believe that only Jesus, the power of Jesus, can heal people. And I know there's a lot of programs out there who say, well, you just need a higher power. Well, that higher power has a name, and his name is Jesus Christ. And not knocking any of the other programs or what they're doing. I mean, they help a lot of people, but we're just going about it a different way. Mm-hmm. And we believe that recovery groups aren't just for addicts. Most of the recovery programs that you hear about are focusing on addiction, and that's good because it's a huge problem, but that's really just a symptom of a greater problem. And if you dig, you don't have to dig very deep until you see that many of the people that are suffering from addictions have been victims of abuse. 2/3 of everybody that's in a substance abuse program have been victims of abuse at some point in their life, mm-hmm. And that's not an accident. I mean, it causes irreparable. Well, I won't say irreparable. It causes permanent harm, and to which people have to work through.
And that's a cycle too. If you don't get that broken, many times it just cycles again and again and again.
Yeah, I think we all have. And I think this is from Celebrate Recovery, but we all have hurts, habits, and hang-ups. Everybody does. And some things you can be, some things you get over quick. And some things, when you get saved, God delivers you from immediately. And then there's other things that, they die slowly, and we have to learn. And we need help from others. Some things we can't get over on ourselves, and just, there's power in prayer. We believe that as a church. We have a prayer meeting every Wednesday night. We believe in the power of prayer, but some things you just need help from other people that have been through some things, and we need each other. So.
Well, that goes back to a pride thing, too, sometimes. You know, you got to admit that you need help before, you know, you can really go out and get it.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah,
and that's for the families, too, because the families go through so much. When, you know, you have a loved one that's suffering from addiction and that sort of thing, the families go through a lot.
So true. Yeah, some of our leaders in this program, some of the strongest leaders, are people that not necessarily suffered from a drug addiction themselves, but had a loved one who was either married to someone who is an addict or had a son or daughter. Some have lost loved ones through addiction, and so their heart is to not that they came through it or through an addiction themselves, but they were the suffered because of a loved one with an addiction.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's you know, there's so many issues that are related to addiction, and like we were talking about the crime aspect of it. You know, literally, I believe crime would drop 80% if it wasn't for addiction. And that's an amazing thing when you think about it. I mean, but it's also a statement on how much need there is to disciple people and come alongside them and help them break free. I mean, now we're throwing them in jail, and I know sometimes that's the only option, but that's not the best option. The best option is to intervene early and help them understand that there's a better way. There's a better life, and it's a life that God had planned for them. And, you know, we believe that sobriety is a byproduct of being reconciled to God, having reconciling that relationship to God. And you could say that not only about addiction, but you could say that about any life-controlling issue. So there's lots of issues out there, but again, we believe that you know, it's not about a single issue, because very often, you know, if all you're doing is treating addiction, or not treating it, but addressing addiction, and you know, it's kind of like Pastor Troy has said often. Sometimes you can close the front door, but if you leave the back door open and you got all these other things going on, you're sitting over here celebrating because you've been sober for 6 months, but yet all these other things that are keeping you from walking in freedom are going on in the background. Well, you just left the back door open, and you will get back to the front door and open it.
Well, and that's why a lot of times it's not necessarily a one-and-done situation. You know, you can't just fix it once and then just walk away and say, well, that was nice. It's done.
Yeah, it's a daily thing.
And that's why it's about discipleship. There's no shortcuts to discipleship. It takes time, and sometimes it's messy, but it's always worth it. For me personally, there's nothing I'd rather see than somebody who has God has changed their life from a life of just outright rebellion and sin to being an amazing man or woman of God and serving God and being free and having those fruits of the Spirit in their life, those things that they're producing now because they have that relationship with God. So there's nothing I'd rather see, you know. So it's but at the same time, we do believe, you know, it's a ministry of movement. I mean, we don't think that you know, you need to spend the rest of your life in Freedom 418. You know, once we want to see people walking in freedom. You know, this is a healing ministry, and we want to see them move on to small groups and serving in the church and the other things that happen in the church where you discover your purpose that God has for you and you begin to make a difference in other people's lives. And that's true discipleship. Is when you've been discipled and now you turn around and you're making a difference in other people's lives. So that's you know, when we say it's a ministry of movement, I want to see people move on to that next step.
Well, it's kind of like the circle, because we were talking about it earlier, where there's a spot for everybody, and everybody's good at something. Whether it's holding the door and being really friendly when somebody comes in, or maybe you're the organization person that makes it happen at the food pantry. That's the circle of it. If they can come through the program and see the other side of it, and then they continue to serve in other ways, and maybe it helps them to find that one place that they're that maybe that's where they fit.
Right. Yeah, I believe God has, He's wired us all differently, and the Bible says we're fearfully and wonderfully made, and you guys have amazing gifts, and it takes all of us, different personalities, different giftings, but we have to get over our hang-ups to be able to be useful, and again, it takes each other. There's an awesome story in the Bible where this guy dies, Lazarus. Y'all probably know this story. Lazarus dies, and he's been dead for 3 days. And when by the time Jesus shows up, his sister's like, I'm sure he stinks by now. This was a bad situation. And Jesus spoke the word, and he was brought to life, which is a picture of our salvation. He brings us from a dead situation to a live situation. But when Lazarus comes walking out of the grave, he's still all bound up in these grave clothes. And Jesus could have easily set him free. He could have easily walked over and unwrapped this guy. But instead, he looks at the people who are around him, and he says, "You guys loose him and let him go." And that's a picture of a ministry like Freedom 418, because only Jesus can save us, and only Jesus can give us life and salvation. But the freedom that we need oftentimes comes from those people around us, and a lot of times it's people who've been through the same things. It's a lot of times God uses our past, our hurts, the things that we would never want to go through again, but God can use those things to help minister to somebody else who's presently going through the same things that we've been through. So, well,
a lot of people, they want to see that it worked for somebody else, so that they know. They
absolutely
they want to know that possibility is out there. They don't want to be the first one that takes penicillin.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and we're gonna, some of our speakers, we're starting out throughout the program. We'll have a combination of testimonies and biblical teaching. But we're starting out with testimonies, with people that have these amazing testimonies that talks about that. It talks about what God has done in their life. And they've already taken the penicillin, and it worked. And so we're looking to have people come in and hear those awesome, wonderful stories of how God's worked in their life. These are the real deal. It says we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. And so I don't think there's anything stronger that you could do or say than to someone come in and share what God's done in someone's life.
So I was going to ask you, Brother Steve, we show up a Thursday night at 6 o'clock for the first program, January 2nd, correct? What can we expect? Is it a small group format? How will the ministry work?
Yeah, we'll start at 6 o'clock, and we'll have a praise and worship, much like church service for the first couple. Do a couple praise and worship songs, and then a few announcements. We'll kind of equate everybody where everything is and all that, and then we'll go into either, like I say, a testimony or biblical teaching. The first several weeks there'll be testimony, and after that we'll do a song to close that service. It'll be about an hour long. And we'll do a song to close that service, and give anybody an opportunity that wants to make that decision to follow Christ to do that. And then we're going to break up into small groups, and men over here and women over here, and I'm on radio. They didn't see that, did they? But,
actually, they did. We're on the line. There you go.
That's okay.
But anyway, men with groups of men and women with groups of men in specific issues that they deal with. Men, it's they're going to have an option of 3 or 4 groups depending on the number of people, and it'll be like chemical addiction will be a group, or sexual issues may be another, and then fathers and husbands, how to be a good father and husband, and then with the women, it's going to be chemical addictions again. Will probably be the bigger group of the the bunch, and then but also depression and anxiety, which is almost as equally rampant as drugs. I see so many people suffering from the spirit of fear that this world has put on them, and so we want to see people delivered and free from that. And then abuse. A lot of women suffering from abuse. So 6 out of 10 at some point in their life will suffer from it.
And sometimes maybe they belong in a couple of different groups. Maybe the substance abuse was caused by the mental or the physical abuse.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it could be, is that something that...
Yeah, and exactly. And see, we're not going to say, well, you got to go to that group, you got to go to this group. We're going to tell people what we're doing in these groups, and then they can make a decision. They may get in a group with chemical addiction, understand and realize that really abuse is what they're struggling the most with, and then change groups. So that what the big that'll be the second hour of the meetings. Like I say, we'll break up into that at about 7 o'clock, and start doing that. And then we're going to be encouraging people to go through a program that we have, or that's called STEPS. And that is truly intensive discipleship. It's for people that have, tired of being tired, and they don't have another option, and they want to go deeper. And we're going to offer that, and that'll be held on a different night, and it'll be kind of based on need, because it's about 15, 16 weeks, and like I say, it's very intensive. So it's not everybody's going to be willing and able to commit to that. So that's going to depend on the numbers of people we have wanting to go through those sort of things.
Well, it sounds like it's a several step and inclusive and kind of, on different levels at the same time.
And calling to lots of folks.
Right.
We live in a world now where lots of things coming at everybody, whether it's, on the TV, there's just all kinds of things out there that people are going through.
Absolutely.
And it sounds like that Christ Tabernacle is calling to folks that are maybe struggling a little bit with different things.
Yeah.
And what a great time of year, too, Ty. Mm-hmm. We talk a lot about the new year and let's start it over. A lot of people I don't do the resolutions because I know me. I know better. Right. But, a lot of people like the resolution and like the challenge to challenge themselves. So, a new year and maybe, change a few things this year. And maybe that's a great place to start.
So tell us again what nights for Freedom 418 and location.
Okay, it'll be Thursday nights starting at 6 o'clock and run to about 8 o'clock. And it'll be beginning January 2nd. And then it will be every Thursday after that. And if you need more information about it, you can call the number Pastor Troy gave earlier, 270-365-1744. If you specifically want to hear about Freedom 418 or talk to me about it, just hit option 5 and that'll go directly to my phone. Okay. And then you can also send us an email at christabprinceton@AT&T.net, or you can check us out on Facebook or at CT Freedom 418. And we're also on Twitter, so we've got lots of ways to get on.
Guys got it going on, and Pastor Troy, tell us a little bit, Christ Tabernacle, times, if anybody's interested, maybe coming out and checking out what's going on at Christ Tabernacle.
Every Sunday morning, 9 and 11, and then we have children's church for both services and a lot of kids programs, and then Wednesday nights, we start at 6:30, but kids start gathering generally about 5:30, and we've got a great student ministries, so from nursery all the way through high school, just great ministries going on Wednesday nights, and we feed the kids. We have a bus route that goes around and picks people up, so just
excellent.
Yeah, anything we can do to serve the community.
Hey, if you're going to feed the kids and they're coming early, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
Boy, we're blessed in this community, have some wonderful churches, and Christ Tabernacle, one of many that is making a difference in this community.
Yeah.
And we can't thank you enough. And this sounds like this is going to be a wonderful program, and we certainly hope you have a wonderful launch coming up on January 2nd. That's a Thursday night at 6 o'clock, Christ Tabernacle Church on US 62 West. So God bless you guys.
They're really kicking off the new year because January 3rd is the first time for the delivery for the food pantry items.
I believe that's right.
I believe that's January 3rd.
Yeah.
So
they're doing it.
Hey,
that's what it's
kicking
about.
off the new year right.
You guys are amazing, just giving us airtime and helping us to get the word out. So just so appreciate you all.
We appreciate it. Thanks so much. Hey, it is 8:48. Stick around. We're going to have your full forecast here in just a second. And we're going to have some more with you on Coffee Talk, 1580 103.3 WPKY.
I really thought I would die of stress long before the cancer. Because the diagnosis brought this avalanche of worries. The money, the travel, the burden on the family. One night I called the American Cancer Society, and they helped me map out a plan. Got me free rides to chemo and even a free place to stay during treatment. They took away those other fears so I could rest up for the real fight.
Please give at cancer.org.
This holiday season, Dodge's gift to you is Employee Pricing Plus. That means everyone gets the same price our employees get on the Dodge Durango. And with Durango's available 475 horsepower, Dodge is here to make every trip a memorable one. So hurry in to the Dodge Big Finish event today to take advantage of Employee Pricing Plus. Offer is available in the purchase or lease of a 2020 Dodge Durango or a new 2019 Dodge vehicle, excluding Charger and Challenger. Customer responsible for $200 administration fee. Must take retail delivery by 1/2/20. See dealer for details.
Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast.
Cloudy to kick off your Hoops Classic weekend out at the Cab at the Caldwell County High School, high 56. Tonight, cloudy, low 49. Tomorrow, late morning showers and mostly cloudy in the afternoon, high 65. Then on Sunday, showers, maybe a thunderstorm or two, high 64. Now on Monday, as you kick off your new work week, mostly sunny. Looks like the temperature's going to start dropping, high 46. Again today, cloudy, high 56.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Health First Community Health Center.
Get spruced up with quality mulch from Bashir Sawmill on Dawson Road in Princeton. We all know that buying mulch by the truckload saves money, and it's only $25 per load for dark natural mulch at Bashir Sawmill on Dawson Road, 1/2 mile past City County Park. Bashir Sawmill also buys standing timber and timberland. Give them a call today, 270-365-2330. That's Bashir Sawmill, family owned and operated in Princeton for over 50 years.
There are many types of music: classical, rock, country. But the type of music we could all agree on is string music. The West Kentucky Hoops Classic is coming to Caldwell County High School December 27th and 28th, featuring exceptional high school players from across the country. Join college recruiters and watch players from Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, Tennessee, Indiana, and Kentucky. For ticket information, go to the West Kentucky Hoops Classic Facebook page.
1580 103.3 WPKY, Tess and Ty, and of course we're live on Coffee Talk. And before we head over to the gym, Ty, we got to drive right past those gorgeous Jeeps and everything over there in the corner, and oh man, parking lot full of them.
Trice Hughes, the home team on 91 North here in Princeton. Man, look at we can look out and see just an incredible line of vehicles. We get to test drive them on Mondays. Man, that last one I test drove, I was in that big Dodge Laramie edition. You know, dually. Diesel, had a big old diesel in it. I mean, leather interior, man, everything heated up. They even had ornate kind of decorative things around the speedometer and the tachometer on the inside, of course. I mean, just loaded down. Huge screen. And, of course, four-wheel drive. All the little things you need to haul and the brakes and everything you need. Brake clutches and, I mean, just everything you needed to get it done on the farm or take that baby on a long trip. Big old crew cab, long bed. I mean, come on, man.
I'm telling you, Trice wants your business.
Luxury.
Give Trice a try. 270-896-0753. Employee pricing good all the way through the end of the year. TriceHughesGM.com without leaving the couch, or visit the dealership on Highway 91 North in Princeton.
Santa Claus threw me in the back of it too.
He did. He wasn't very. He was grouchy that day.
I think he was just he was just a little worried, but he was excited because I think he delivered some of those presents in the back of that big old Laramie edition.
Well, I don't really blame him.
King.
If I was him and I was going to have a long night of delivering stuff, that's exactly what I would end up taking around personally.
So it's warm enough, he didn't need the sleigh. There wasn't any snow out there, so he just said, I'm going to use that big old Dodge. So.
I don't blame him. I really don't. Hey, guess where we're going to go? We're going to load up in that big truck or the Jeep or whatever, and then guess where we're going?
Where are we going?
We're going to the Hoops Classic, baby!
Yeah, the West Kentucky Hoops Classic. And yeah, boy, what a day of basketball. What a two-day event here. And it all gets underway at 11 o'clock today. Mayfield and Webster County girls will kick it off at 11.
Good one.
Yeah, and then guess what? It's basketball all the way to 8 o'clock tonight. And we'll go through the list of today's games. Okay. At 12:30, immediately following Mayfield and Webster County. And, I mean, it doesn't take long to get them rolling.
No.
Paducah-Tillman versus Clarksville Northeast boys. And that ought to be a heck of a matchup as well. Then at 2 o'clock, our Caldwell County Lady Tigers will take on Louisville Central.
Boy, that's going to be a good game. And now that's not one of those games that you can see every day either. These are a couple of teams over, the starting games today for both of our Tiger and Lady Tigers are going to be teams that they're playing that you're not going to have the opportunity of seeing them play just every day. And this is really cool.
So guess what? Air time for that is 1:45, and Bob and Dennis will have the call of that game. You'll be live. They're live streaming it as well. Then at 3:30, it's Caldwell County and Southwind Tennessee boys game. And that's at 3:30.
That's going to be a good one,
So you get the girls and the boys back-to-back today, not tomorrow, but we'll tell you that. And then at 5 o'clock, it's South Doyle, Tennessee versus Memphis Ridgeway.
Right.
And that's a boys' game, and that ought to be a heck of a whale of a game. Evansville, Bosse, and Holly Springs, Mississippi boys at 6:30.
I'm going to tell you what, that's one of those games over the weekend that is really going to be... I mean, it's going to be a shootout because that's one of those that's really kind of stacking up to be quite the game. So if you do any digging at all and get on yoursportsedge.com and check out some of these games, that's one of those highlight games of the day.
Well, and you're going to see talent from different parts of the country.
Wow.
That potentially, we've got some Division I type college, potential college players. And then, of course, as you even said, some of those kids might even go a little further than that. But, I mean, lots of talent, and, it's going to be a big display of basketball. And then at 8 o'clock tonight, rounding out with the closing game is Pinson Valley, Alabama versus North Little Rock, Arkansas.
And it's all right here in Princeton. So, I mean, you don't have to go to, across the county or anything like that. It's right here at our high school. And I'm very excited for today's games and almost as excited as I am about Saturday's games as well. These are huge, and Todd's going to be with us.
Todd will be doing the broadcast on Saturday with Bob. And, of course, here's another cool thing,
Good morning, Big John.
Here's another cool thing. You've got admission free for all Caldwell County students.
Yes.
So that's a cool thing. Of course, they're on Christmas break. And then, of course, it's just $7 for one day and $13 for a 2-day pass to this great basketball. So check out Saturday's lineup. Tomorrow at 11 o'clock, it's a girls' kickoff, Webster County versus Louisville Central. We'll see Louisville Central again and Webster County. Then at 12:30, Memphis Ridgeway versus Evansville Bosse. That's a boys' game. That's going to be a good one.
Right.
And then at 2 o'clock, it's Caldwell County girls versus Mayfield.
That's going to be a throwdown kind of game. It really is. Not seen the Lady Tigers play
a bunch
yet
of
this year.
scrappers.
I'm telling you, these ladies throw it down. They really are scrappers. Very high energy, and I mean when everybody goes for a rebound or a ball that's loose, they're
hustling.
They do hustle. It is really impressive to watch. Make sure that you come out and watch them this weekend.
Following that game at 3:30, Southwind Tennessee versus Paducah-Tillman. That's a boys' game. And boys are going to close it out after that from 3:30 on. Then at 5 o'clock, North Little Rock, Arkansas versus South Doyle, Tennessee. Holly Springs, Mississippi versus Pinson Valley, Alabama. That one's at 6:30. And then our Caldwell County Tigers will close out tomorrow night's game against Clarksville North.
Boy, that one's going to be a doozy too. And again, if you got to see them last week as they really pulled out that full court press and just, went 185 mile an hour the whole time. They have really practiced and worked on their shooting and free throws and everything to the point where they're just a well-oiled machine.
Our guys are playing good. They're on a win streak and
had a
rough start to the season, but there's a lot of good stuff going on.
Oh, and excitement. Of course, Todd Griffin's going to be with us over the weekend, and he's going to be calling the games on. Well, he'll be there today and tomorrow, but he's going to be calling the game tomorrow.
And be sure you check out yoursportsedge.com, the website, or use the app. All kinds of pictures, the scores of the game, and of course you can catch the Caldwell County Tiger and Lady Tiger action right here on WPKY, WPKYonline.com, and of course on the World Wide Web on our app.
And let me warn you too, because I know some people say, "Well,
warning, Will Robinson, warning, warning, warning."
Well, when we tell you that the game starts at 2, I know a lot of people will say, "Well, they probably won't get started till 2:30 because of these other teams." No. This thing, Tori Hammett and all of these people,
as long as they're not overtime games,
as long as they're not overtime games. I mean, you can't help that.
Yep.
But for the most part, it's like a well-oiled machine. They've been doing this enough years that they know they know what they're doing. So you've got one team that's really waiting to just jump on that court the moment that that is possible.
About every 15 minutes,
right.
As long as there's not an overtime game. I mean, they're starting the next one, so it flows pretty quick. Again, if there's not any kind of delay to a game, an injury, or, a long-time injury. We hope none of that, or an overtime situation. So,
hey, and we were looking at a program there that you can pick up, and I'll tell you, it's got some of the last year's. Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Todd Griffin. We just
Todd and Willie out at New Direction Printing.
And it's got some of last year's stats in it that I noticed, kind of how everybody did last year in the tournament.
Yep.
Got some great pictures in there as well. So
let's mention the team breakfast, too, because on Saturday, on the 28th, the team breakfast for players, coaches, parents, and organizers should be a great time because Cameron Mills is going to be the guest speaker. Ooh. He has a great message. He's a former UK basketball player. And that'll be down at the Christian Life Center at First Baptist Church, where they have that all those team breakfasts. That's Saturday morning. So, and that has become. I think this is the second year now for that, and that hasn't gone on all the years of the Hoops Classic, but yet that is one of the highlights for many. Of course, the organizers, but as well as the players.
Well,
and
I know
coaches.
some of the coaches are actually saying that. Look, that's one of the things that their players are actually looking forward to more than just about anything all weekend long. Is that breakfast? That's become kind of the highlight of the weekend.
So, big event, and boy, this is a huge effort. Of course, Tori Hammett, a lot of really great sponsors that help put this on, and you'll be able to see those out there on display. The music's great. They've got great DJs out there to get everybody fired up for basketball and hoops. It's just a festive event.
I'll tell you, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be so much fun. You're going to see PKY all over the place and yoursportsedge.com all over the place. Of course, again, we're going to be there today. I know we've got a 2 o'clock and a 3:30 because the ladies and the Caldwell County Tiger boys are going to be out there playing.
Back to back.
Hey, we're going to have a great time. Again, it'll be at 1580 AM, 103.3 FM. Then we've got our WPKYonline.com. You can check out our live feed. You can also check that out on our app as well. And yoursportsedge.com will also have all the updates. I mean, if you want to know
we
worldwide,
got you covered. There's no way
we got you covered.
That's right. If
no matter where you're going,
sitting in your office, out in your car, you can turn it on. Sitting at home, I mean, we've got it. But come on out and check out the basketball because again, $7 for a single day admission, $13 for a 2-day pass, and of course, Caldwell County students. Guess what? You can just show up and enjoy the basketball.
And that's even
See those
better.
Caldwell crazies out there.
Hey, we'll see you at the cab at the Caldwell County High School after a while when it all gets kicked off, huh? Hey, it's 9:01 with Tess and Ty and 1580, 103.3 WPKY Princeton.
Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast.
Cloudy to kick off your Hoops Classic weekend out at the cab at the Caldwell County High School, high 56. Tonight, cloudy, low 49. Tomorrow, late morning showers and mostly cloudy in the afternoon, high 65.